Over the past year, the Blood Moon set has become a true staple of the mid-game, where people used to wear a fighter's torso, rune plate legs, and a fire cape to do their slayer tasks. Now all you see is the Blood Moon set and boppers. It is used in so many bosses that it is basically a must-have for Ironman. However, I only have a 3.56% chance at getting this set. Why, you might ask? Well, hit the intro. I am playing RuneScape one coin flip at a time. This is Mike Penny. Mike is an Ironman who can only kill a mob until he has a 50% chance at that mob's rarest drop. After that, he is locked out of that mob forever. In a race against my own luck, I will unlock great pieces of gear, but I might miss out on best in slot upgrades. The goal? Completing the Master Combat Achievement. This is 50-50. The Moons of Peril are a really weird boss in the sense that it is very important to have good defense gear. This is really true nowhere else in the game, and so it's a very unique concept that Jagex have tried out for this boss. But that means we have a shopping list of items that we want to get before we're going into the Perilous Moons. And I'll quickly walk you through all the items I want to get. First of all, the ones we got started on last episode. That is a Barrows tank top and Barrows tank legs. We ideally want to keep doing Barrows until we get at least one of those two and hopefully both. Then I think I'm gonna spring for a Helm of Natis Knot if we do not get a Barrows helm in the meantime. I want to get the Tsar Shield or Toxt Kill or something to that extent because I think it offers the same strength bonus as a Rune Defender but has much higher defense stats. Then for gloves, I think I'm gonna go spring for the Clank's Gauntlets, which you get from the Underground Pass, because I want to do the Underground Pass for another reason, and that is to kill the Deranged archaeologist. And why? Well, he recently had an update where he now drops a steel ring, which is one of the best defensive rings in the game. Now, I only have a 50% shot at this ring, so we'll see if I get it or not in this episode. But we're gonna try at least, and then we'll move on to the Moons of Peril. But before we go into that, I think I left you off with a little bit of a teaser. KC number 11 should give me a 50% chance at an item, and what do we... Oh my god! Yes! 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 This is like literally the most important item I could get right now. This is so good. This is so good for us. Nice! Torog's legs. I love it. Currently, my best way of training combat is still Nightmare Zone. I hope that changes with the release of the Gemstone Crab later on. But for now, Nightmare Zone will have to do. And by completing what lies below, I've unlocked King Roald as a low defense boss in there. Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't think about it too hard, you might say I'm 1/5 of the way there. If you think about it a little harder, I am nowhere near close to my goal. But today, we have unlocked the easy tier of the combat achievements. Alright, so I've been having some pre-planned adventures here in the farming guild to complete my farming contracts, but I'm out of yew and maple seeds or saplings, so this is going to be the first seed pack opening of the account, and so I'm hoping to get, you know, at least some maple or yew seeds here. So let's see what we're going to get. Guys, what an incredible moment for the account. I am about to make my first full batch of prayer potions. Now, I know that some people now like to use moonlight moth mixes, but to be honest, I didn't know at the time. That's the real truth. And at this point, while I'm, you know, farming my ranners and unlocking the prayer potions, I don't feel like training Hunter to do that. So I'll be using prayer potions for the foreseeable future. And if you disagree, let me know in the comments. Alright, and the next hit should do it. Yeah, there we go. That should be Can't Touch This completed. I've killed all the melee brothers without them attacking me at all. And yes, there we go. That is Can't Touch Me completed. Next stop on the agenda is killing Carol only using special attacks. For that, I'm just gonna get a Dragon Dagger and sit it out. There we go. I think one more hit should do it. There we go. Just like that. Big chest number 14 incoming. Are we going to get something? We are going to get nothing. Or at least some death runes, but nothing. So one thing you definitely didn't notice in the previous episode was that I was going for all Temperos combat achievements and suddenly just quit. That is because I'm easily distracted. But I decided to come back and do finish the combat achievements for Temperos, so they are now completed. Well, we've claimed 87 permits and we didn't really get anything. We got some pages and some flakes, and that is really about it. Chest number 16 is going to be big. It's going to be nothing. There we go. Lucky number 17. It's not lucky number 17. Of course, I meant 18. Also not lucky. Also not lucky. Also not lucky. Never lucky. But 10% of the way there. And this is going to be chest number 25, which we will not get an item on, but we will get the medium combat task Barrows Champion, which means we have completed all the Barrows combat achievements. So I'm running fairly low on prayer potions, so I might need to stop doing Barrows after the next couple of kills. Hopefully we do get a tank top in that time. If not, it is not the worst thing in the world because we do already have the tank legs and a rune plate body will suffice. Let's move on. This is going to be chest number 33. What are we going to... Ooh, Guffin's change skirt. Doesn't help right now, but it's an item is an item. We'll take it. We'll take it. Nice. Let's go for the back-to-back. What do we get? Nothing. Alright, so I was just checking the supplies, and I think after this one, I can do like 5 more chests. This is going to be kill 34, and we... Ooh, Arim's rope top. Ooh, that is actually really, really good. Ooh, that's nice. The final kill for now will give us nothing. Just spent a couple of hours AFKing these wealthy citizens, so I've built up a little bit of a cash stack so that I can finance some of the things I want to do. So I think Helm of Anatus Knot and upgrading the Iban staff, for example. I am now a Demon Slayer. Just completing Shadow of the Storm for that sweet, sweet ranged experience so I can start the Underground Pass, which has a 25 ranged requirement. Alright guys, you are all very aware of what time it is. You are asking yourself the question, how long on average do I have to try this puzzle before I find the correct route? And what are the odds of immediately getting a straight line? Well, let's start with the straight line. Well, after doing some calculations, there are a total of 75 routes possible on this puzzle, which means that the odds of you getting the straight line over the middle is 1 in 75, or about a 1.33% chance. And on average, it will take you approximately 6 attempts to get across this damn thing, meaning you will take 6 times 15 is 90 damage before you get across. That is Underground Pass completed for the Iron Staff. There we go, 200k down the drain in order to upgrade my Iban Staff. Now before we get to the Deranged Archaeologist, I just quickly wanted to get the Nezi Helm because it gives a good prayer bonus. So we can check that off our shopping list. Then we get the Holy Symbol from Jared for more prayer bonus. And here we are at the Deranged Archaeologist. He also has some combat achievements, 2 of which I just completed. I'd rather be illiterate and Mage of the Swamp. These are the only combat achievements that do not involve kill count. So from here on, it's just getting KC. Let's hope for the Steel Ring. It's a 50-50. Second KC coming in, Black D'hide. That's actually pretty good once I get my crafting up. KC number 8, 25% of the way there, and we get nothing. KC number 14, what do we get? Black D'hide body. Alright, I don't have to craft then. I can just equip straight away. KC number 16, over halfway, mud runes, unfortunately. 15 kills left. Coming in with KC number 20, and we get some nice alks. But I won the ring. 10 kills left, I warn you. 10 kills left to get the steel ring. It's not looking good, boys. It's not looking good. 75% of the way there after this kill. Another crystal key, unfortunately. And this kill is going to be the final combat achievement. Deranged archaeologist champion. 6 kills left. 5 kills left after this, and my friend reminded me that I have yet to hit an actual important 50-50 on this account. So will that change in the next 4 kills? 4 kills left? No. You thought I was gonna get it because of the silence, didn't you? But surely this time we get another crystal key. 2 kills left. 2 kills left. Beautiful round kill number 30 and potatoes. Alright, well this is going to be the final kill, so either I get the ring right now or I'm moving on and I have to find something else to defend myself against Perilous Moons, and I am locked out of the ranged archaeologist. Well, lucky I have all combat achievements. Next up on the list is the Tsar Shield, so just killing a Joker to complete the Karumja Easy Diary. There we get the gloves, very nice. I can now sell runes for more Tuckle. That is the final rune finished. 60k is exactly what we need. And there we go. Let's buy ourselves the Xil. What a beauty. Don't worry, I'm not gonna jump scare you this time with a I love you Jesus song. Instead, I will sing it myself. I love you, G. While it is not part of the equipment, it might be just as important. Piety is unlocked after I complete King's Ransom and the Knight's Training Grounds. That will also boost my defense at Perilous Moons. There we go, that is King's Ransom completed. I can now do the Knight Training Grounds, but for that I want to get a Dragon Mace, for which I need to complete Hero's Quest, and I don't have 50 free cooking yet, which I need. So I'll get that now. And there we go, one more lobster should do it. There we go, 50 free cooking. We can now do Hero's Quest because we are now able to cook lava eels, believe it or not. And there we go, that is Hero's Quest completed. I can now access the Heroes Guild and buy myself a Dragon Mace. That is the Dragon Mace acquired, another 50k down the drain, but at least we have a weapon for Knight's Training Grounds. Another thing we need is a good stab weapon, so I'm also going to get the Dragon Longsword. Might as well. I have the cash. If I hit Sir Lancelot one more time, that should finish off the Knight Training Grounds. There we go. Thank you very much, Merlin, for all that beautiful experience. And I can now activate Piety. Ah, that is beautiful. It's going to help me out so much at Perilous Moons. Look at all that gear. I think I am about ready to go. Don't you think? The blessing is purely cosmetic. It doesn't actually give a prayer bonus, but still it looks good, don't you think? Let's do this. So the first question we have is, how many kills of Perilous Moons am I allowed to do? Well, assuming I kill all 3 moons, the wiki lists the drop rate of a single item at 1 in 2 to 4. And if we apply our mathematics trick from before, that would mean that I am allowed 155 kills. However, Perilous Moons has a beautiful system called duplicate protection, where if you've gotten an item from a moon before, you won't get that item again until you complete the full set of the moon. The wiki drop rates do not account for this duplicate protection. So in reality, the 50% chance point of me getting any specific item lies a little lower than that. So here we have 2 graphs comparing when I will get any item, which is approximately 1 every 19 chests, which means I have a 50% chance at 13 chests. And on the graph on the right, it looks a little weird, and that is because of that duplicate protection system. It is when I have a 50% chance at a specific item. And so instead of 155, I have a 50% chance at 110 chests. Now, similar to Barrows, I think there's a lot of mathematics here that we can dive into in a separate video. Questions like, why is Perilous Moons so much faster to complete than Barrows? How much faster is it to complete Perilous Moons than Barrows? And what are the odds of getting a full set within X amount of kills? All those kinds of questions are super interesting, but it will take me a little bit longer to explain. So if you'd like to see a separate video on that, do let me know in the comments and make sure to like and subscribe to stay updated on those kinds of videos. Now, let's also talk about combat achievements. Moons of Peril have a lot of combat achievements, and a couple of which are gonna be very hard to get. This combat achievement is called Betrayal, and I have to kill a moon with its own weapon drop. So that means I have to get a weapon in a lunar chest somewhere in the 110 kills. Otherwise, I will not be able to complete that combat achievement. Secondly, on my combat level, it is very hard to do these kills very fast. So I don't think I will get any of the speed achievements right now. Maybe I'll come back later to finish off the Perilous Moons just for the final speed combat achievements and the high hitter combat achievement, which is killing a moon before they start their second special attack. But every other combat achievement in here I should be able to do. I've done moons before on my group Ironman, so I do know how they work. I do remember that getting a perfect kill of all 3 moons is a little bit of a hassle and can be quite tough because it's very easy to make one small mistake, but I'm sure within 110 chests we should be able to manage. Having said that, let's jump into the Perilous Moons. Okay, I'm definitely noticing that I'm a little rusty here, and I forgot how horrific the Blood Moon is to kill if you don't have any proper defensive armor. So I'm curious to see whether I can kill the Blood Moon every time. And I can't just teleport out because there's a combat achievement called Fat of the Land where I have to kill 30 Moons of Peril without leaving the dungeon. So I have to kill at least 10 Blood Moons in a row in order to get that combat achievement. So we'll see if I'll be able to manage that, but here we go. This is the first Blood Moon kill, so it went, well enough at least that I can get the 1 kill, and that means we are on our way to our first chest. But first, here we're getting some juicy Slayer experience. 40k Slayer experience. That will bring us to level 54, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 54, perfect. Some Runecraft and Hunter levels as well. That is beautiful to see. Now it is time to loot our very first chest. Will we get lucky or not? Let's see. First chest coming in. I need to make sure I'm not baited if I get Adelaidal darts. Let's see, what are we going to get? It is indeed Adelaidal darts, and we get our first combat achievement, Lunar Triplet, which is just killing all 3 moons, which we're gonna do every single time. But no drop this time. Here is KC number 2 and nothing, unfortunately. The big chest number 3 coming in with nothing again. I do love the regular loot here. Super Compost and Water Orbs is actually pretty great. And KC4 will give us some prayer experience in the form of Sun-Kissed Bones, some Heralders as well. I really wish it wouldn't be Heralders, but and any other herb, really, that provided something useful. But hey. Loot or not, this is going to be a combat achievement because I am a Perilous Novice. That is 5 KC of the Perilous Moons, allowing me to get this combat achievement. So now that I've gone back into the swing of things, I decided to slowly start working on the other combat achievements. This is back to our roots, which is defeating all 3 moons in 1 run by only using a Dragon Scimitar. And will that CA give us beautiful loot? It will not. This is actually one of my favorite mechanics in the game. The clone phase of the Eclipse Moon is really good, and that is a hard combat achievement. The clone zone, perfect. Another combat achievement leads to another chest, leads to no unique item again. But of course, number 9. Number 9 is going to be the one. It's not going to be the one. At least some Arids, though, which is better herb than Airlanders. KC number 10 is also trash. It's going to be KC number 14. What do we get? What do we get? Soft clay, baby. Let's go. And on KC number 15, we are back to trash. After I only doubted myself, hard combat task, Fat of the Land is completed. I stayed here for 30 moon kills or 10 chests. Somehow I always feel that loot is more likely after you complete a combat achievement, but no. Now that I'm allowed to leave the Moons of Peril dungeon because I completed the Fat of the Land combat achievement, I thought it was time to kill my very first Hespori, and there we get the combat achievement, Weed Whacker. Great. Alright, this is the very first kill. That's Hespori isn't. Another free combat achievement points, and no bucket. Alright, back at the moons, KC number 19. Ooh, Blue Moon Helm. It's not the best item. It might actually be one of the worst, but it is an item nonetheless. First item, 19 kills in. Let's see what we get next time.